This is the Normal Nerds podcast, where two very normal dudes talk about very nerdy stuff and whatever else we feel like talking about. I'm your host, Maxwell Cercia.
And I'm your host, who would definitely learn the martial arts just to impress me, Davis Bates.
This episode, we're talking underrated anime, Kenichi, the Mightiest Disciple. So sit back, relax, and welcome to the Normal Nerds podcast. All right, Davis. I don't know if this will be a segment underrated anime, but so far we wanted to talk a show that we both really enjoy that no one talks about, I feel like.
Ever. At all. Like, ever.
Kenichi the Mightiest Disciple.
Mightiest Disciple. A top tier anime.
Top
A
tier.
plus. Like, A plus. 100%. I love this anime. You actually got me. You're the one that got me into it. You're always like, you gotta watch Kenichi. You gotta watch Kenichi. I'm like, okay, man. I'll get to it at some point.
Never heard of this anime, but okay.
Yeah, never heard of it, but it was on Hulu, so it's still on Hulu actually. So
watch it.
Watch it. It's very, very good. But I don't think it was ever finished. That's the only thing.
It was
Although
not.
there's that weird. A quick side note before we get on this. I keep seeing like every now and then these YouTube videos of like it looks like it's new Kenichi stuff, and I can't figure out what it is. So to anyone who saw the headline of this podcast episode and knows about like what this is, if they made like a newer version of Kenichi or Kenichi season 3 or 2 or whatever, fucking message me now, because I can't figure out if it's on Amazon Prime. It wasn't on Crunchyroll. Hulu only has the first 2 seasons, and this stuff looks new and different, and I'm dying to figure out what it is. So someone, come on, help me hook a brother up. Come on.
Yes, I would. Yeah, I mean, or even if there isn't anything, let's if you're listening to this and you know what we're talking about, let's get a petition going.
Yeah, get a
We gotta
petition
get
going. Yeah.
So the fault of Kenichi was that it was like anime back in the day, minus like the big 3. A lot of them were like, as everyone knows, anime is just an advertisement for manga.
Yes.
And back in the day, like that's what
That
they
was
used
a
to do.
hardcore, like that was a big thing for them back then.
They would just do like the first season of it and then cut it.
It's like, and there we go. Now go buy the less interesting paper version of it.
Yeah.
Like,
That's not
same
colored.
Thing, yeah, I think the same thing. I personally think the same thing happened in Death Parade, because that
Oh,
anime
yeah.
felt like it got cut off way too early just to go buy the manga. It's like I hate that. Oh,
Yeah.
I hate that that's like a business practice over there.
Yeah.
It like drives me nuts.
Anime is just to sell the manga.
So stupid.
But Kenichi is an awesome show. If you've never seen it, it's about this kid, Kenichi, the Mightiest Disciple,
One day.
who's pretty much this total, like classic anime, like he's not strong, but he has such great heart.
Yes, but he's weak as shit.
But he's weak as shit.
He just is so fucking weak at the start of the show too. Like incredibly so.
Yeah,
Like he's
super
literally
weak.
I think that's what they just he pretty much just serves as the punching bag for the karate class.
Yes,
Like
he
he's
does,
literally
yeah.
just the punching bag, and I don't mean like sparring partner. I'm sure they tie him and punch him at one point. Like,
Probably.
yeah, because he's so weak. But he always wants to be this great, fighting master, but he's a wimp. Until a pretty lady comes into his life.
Mew.
One of the early on hottest anime characters there was.
Yeah, I would agree with her skin tight purple outfit.
Yes, definitely, yes. Great, it was amazing. Yeah, she got called a dairy cow so much, and it was hilarious.
It was hilarious, but she was
great.
badass as shit because her
Yeah.
grandfather was the head of the dojo that Kenichi soon gets involved with.
Yes,
And we get to meet some of the best characters
ever. Some of the greatest fighting masters. They are the strongest fighting masters in that world, but some of the greatest fighting masters ever. I don't remember all their names. There's like 5 of them, I think. Kind of the ninja lady.
Starting with also a super babe, the weapons master,
Yes.
Shiguri Kosaka,
Yep.
whatever.
Yep.
And then the first, the karate guy who drinks all the time and he's like a street fight karate guy, Shio Sahaki, like kind of sake.
That's nice.
And then Apacha, let you come out here. The white top, Apa.
Yeah. The boxer.
His main one, Akasami Kotsuji, that's a main one, who I'm pretty sure, I don't know if they meant him to be blind, but he's got blind eyes.
Yeah, he has blind eyes. I don't think he is blind, though.
Then the Chinese martial artist, Kensei Ma.
The pervert. Amazing.
And then
the man after Kichi's heart.
The headmaster is the fucking headmaster. His name is unimportant.
Yeah, he's a god of martial artists.
He really is.
Yes, he could body all of them. They fought them all at once.
He literally wears like one of those like flowy little like gi things, but it's just like his muscles are so big they're just ripping through it.
There's an episode where he runs on water, and this isn't like a ridiculous anime where they're like breaking planets with their fists or like doing super ninja. Well, some of them are doing super ninja stuff, but like he just like straight up runs on water. It was like because he was just running so fast or running on telephone lines. That one cracked me up a lot.
Who's your favorite master?
Other than the main master, because I really don't think we can pick him since he's the main master.
Are you talking about the headmaster?
I'm talking about the grand master of the dojo. He's too strong. Mio's grandfather, he's too strong to pick. I would say my favorite master out of all of them. I mean, it's got to be his main master, whatever his name was, the blind guy. I loved his fighting style so much. He was so fun. Not that they weren't all spectacular. How about you?
Or was he judo? I think he was judo. My favorite master. Oh my god! I think I gotta agree with you, man.
Yeah, he was just so cool. He was so cool.
The scene where the thugs are messing with him or whatever, and like Kenichi watches him like stop a punch, and he's like, "How did you stop that?" And then he's just using his toes to hold onto a manhole cover. Yeah, so he doesn't get knocked back. I was like,
sure, okay, yeah. He's also like one of the first ones to really start training Kenichi in like in their training style. And I remember he just has him like he's sitting on a tire and he ties it around Kenichi, just has him like transform or some shit like that, doesn't he? Like all over town. It's spectacular.
That's how he does his shopping.
Go.
Yeah, that's how he does all his shopping and shit.
Oh my god, it was so funny. But yeah, his interaction with the masters is pretty spectacular throughout. It's there's a lot of comedy to it. But there's also a lot of like actual training and fights that happen. Like a ton of fights.
Oh yeah.
There's like almost a fight almost every episode, isn't there?
If not a fight, like training fights.
Exactly. Yeah. With a very actually interesting villain base too.
Oh yeah.
So after Kenichi, so after he like learns like one attack from me or something like that, he pretty much conquers his karate bully, because his karate bully is just big. That's his whole thing. So he just like does the classic game of things. I'm just gonna redirect his power.
Yes. If the bigger their opponent, the harder this move, the better this move will work.
Exactly. So that's when he joins the dojo, and then he starts. But there's this literal gang. Like fucking actual because apparently Japan, as we learned from Tokyo Revengers, is just ripe with teenage
high school gangs.
Yeah, exactly. Running around just beating the shit out of people. There's this high school gang called Ragnarok. Right?
Cool name. Yep, Ragnarok.
Very, very cool name. Very, very cool. Like, it's an anime, so it's not like he's like fighting, not like he's like fighting a bunch of people. He's fighting like the heads of the thing. They're all defined. And each one has a pretty interesting story to them, give or take. And they each have a different fighting style that he has to conquer and find a way to do this. And there's some like probably really important ones we can talk about. Like there's Hermit.
Hermit's the most.
He's the most important one.
Besides Odin, he's the most.
He's pretty much like the Sasuke character for a more modern term.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
he's like, I'm so edgy. I'm gonna kill everyone. I'm evil. Blah 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 blah. I lost my family. Yada yada yada. And then Kenichi just comes in. Kenichi and his little sister actually come in and just like start transforming his heart throughout, like, and not like immediately, like throughout the course of the show, which I thought was really good. I like the pacing in the show so much. Like that's just one of the best things they have about it. Like he turns a lot of villains to the side, which I'm always a big fan. Like, not always a big fan of it, but I'm a really big fan.
He does a really good job of it in the show too. It's not like
really, really good job of just like changing up their ideology. It made sense the way he did it too. Through his fights and through discussing with them. And I like that a lot. I thought it was really cool. And then, of course, he starts building his own team of masters.
Yep.
Essentially. Yep. But we talked about it already a little bit, but like the pacing of the show was spectacular because Kenichi does start out as like the weakest of the weakest.
Super weak.
And this is the thing with some anime these days that like, I like it. Obviously, I like it a lot because I love Black Clover and all this stuff. But when the weakling powers up, he powers up an insane amount. Like with Black Clover, Asta was like, he was, the weakest of the weak, and then he gets a black magic or anti-magic sword, and he's like suddenly like, ooh, super powerful. But Kenichi, like, he sucked for like half a season pretty much before he even started to get like okay.
Oh yeah, no, that was like one thing, like you said, the pacing is so great because like, do you remember like when he's fighting Hermit on top of like the bus?
Yes.
And Hermit does that move where he hits him in the back of the neck.
Yeah.
And Kenichi's like, ow, oh my god, that was really dangerous. And Hermit's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, what
like
the hell?
That would kill anybody. But like Kenichi's just like, and that's another thing I like about Kenichi too, is like since they pace it so well and he gets so strong over the series, he never thinks he's that strong.
No, he doesn't. And like, so honestly, you don't think he's that strong some of the times too, because as you showed, he gets his ass kicked a lot. But like you don't feel like he's that strong, but then he is insane, and especially like it's such a good payout by the end of the seasons too, when he just like is so fucking awesome.
His fight against Odin is so awesome because like Odin's got that like makes a circle and he knows your move right before it happens. I know your martial arts style, and then he goes through all of his masters changing like his fighting style to copy the masters.
Kenichi
and it's
that.
just like that's cool. Not only super smart Kenichi, one. That's cool because it's like that's like what's cool about him is he's learning all these different martial arts styles.
Yeah, it's like what the master says at the very end of the series. Like, yes, he's a very weak bonsai tree, but one day he'll be the strongest bonsai tree to ever exist.
He's the mightiest disciple.
He is the mightiest disciple, and that's like that was one of the great parts of the series. That especially when the master delivered that line, it's like, man, fuck. This gets stupid strong.
Yeah,
and he started out so fucking weak. Let's go.
And he never wants to train.
One of my favorite scenes ever in this entire show. The masters at one point ask him to like come move in at the dojo with them so he can train even more. And he's like, fuck that. And actually like runs away. And they're like, oh, of course, we expected that. And they like smash the floor out from under him. And he jumps and dodges it. And they like gets to the wall. And they're like, oh, he has gotten better. And then they just body him after that.
Yeah. That is awesome.
And then they convince him to stay by saying like, oh, you might get to see Mio naked.
Oh yeah. And he's like,
ooh, of course I got to do this. That's one of those things that like the Chinese martial arts master, I'd say. He was as big a pervert as Kenichi was, and it was spectacular.
Oh yeah.
Those two vibed on a level that was just so deep. And
then
me up.
He's getting his ass kicked all the time, working really hard, and his sister's worried. Yeah. And then we get, his dad, who is an A+ character.
Oh, yes, he is. His whole family are A+ characters.
Yeah, they are, yeah.
Like, they're great. But yeah, his dad is like, oh, I must protect my son. Rise, Sebastian. And the gun just comes out of like some fucking hidden compartment. And he's like, I will go fight them. And the wife just beats the living shit out of him. It's like, no, you're not.
She's like, have fun, honey. After she like hits him in the head with a frying pan. She's like, see you later, Kenichi.
Yep. There's one episode too where like the dog, because the daughter's as dumb as the dad sometimes.
And the daughter and the dad.
I need to protect him, and like the dad's like, rise, Sebastian, and he gives he gives her the gun. And it's like, go have fun, sweetie. And it's like, what the fuck are you doing?
I do love, now you point that I totally forgot that, but the daughter and the dad are like the same.
Oh, they're the same person. They're dumb as shit.
They're dumb as all hell. She's like, what are they doing to him?
And his mom's the fucking this is my household. But these are monkeys, but they're my monkeys. Mm-hmm. So.
I did love how she Appa ends up loving his sister so much.
Oh yeah.
Appa and
they're both children. So
because Shiguri is also like, she's super sexy, but she's a little slow in the brain.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But I love how she gets really into Go.
Yeah,
playing Go with Appa.
Yes.
And his actual master, I forgot his name. Fuck, whatever. The judo guy plays Appa, and Appa almost beats him, and he's like,
oh my god.
They're like, oh my god, you play again. He's like, busy training.
Yeah, we're done. Now we're done. Now we're done.
Also, sometimes when they do side arcs and shows that aren't privy to the main story, and they're not always great. That one he had with Kamima, the Chinese master, that was awesome.
That was spectacular.
Yeah,
and that was really good. Just sort of the pacing of the show too, because it shows that it's not gonna it shows that these masters also had lives before all this,
Yeah.
We potentially could have dove into the other masters' lives, which everyone we want to know all their backstories.
Oh yeah, I can watch all their backstories.
All we know about Appa Joe there is that he used to do some underground fights, and it's like, I want to see him do those.
Yeah, that'd be really
cool. But yeah, no, it was a very good way to slow down the pace of the show, introduce new characters too, because they introduced his daughter or something like that.
Is
of course everyone in the show's a babe. Everyone in the show's a babe. It is an older anime. Remember that.
What I love about it is that at the end she's in love with Kenichi.
Oh yeah.
And Miyu's like, what?
And she wants to bring him back to China to be a disciple. And it's like, that ain't happening.
And Miyu's like, what? And then there's that little, because they have that pool episode for no reason, but it's hilarious. Because my favorite thing is about the masters is Kenichi will be like, I finally get to take a break. And no, this is a training exercise. And he's like, God damn it,
I always want to go to a hot spring.
And that was one of the first times too. I remember that pool episode where Kenichi takes his shirt off, and you're like, jeez, this guy got jacked.
Well, yeah, he's fucking throwing himself against rocks the entire time. Yeah. There was also and then it's a really good such good side stories and all this stuff, and it had such good potential for future stories, because The villain you fight at the end of like season 2 or 1. I think it's split in 2 seasons, just one season.
But it's like, classic.
It's like one of those super. It's like 40 some episodes.
It's like Black Clover's 1 season.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like,
yeah. Yeah, that's fair. But the villain you fight at the end of season 1 isn't even the main villain.
No,
you know, he's the student of the main villain, who was like technically was
Kenichi.
like a brother's disciple of Kenichi, because he used to train with the masters too until like he killed people and they kicked him out. Yeah, he's evil.
He became bad.
He's straight up evil.
What's a good? There's other characters in shows like this where it's like, oh my god, I guess like Anakin.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
like Anakin did, where it was just like he was going to be the chosen one, and then he went bad, so they're like, we need a new chosen one, and then Luke comes in, and
it's like, all right, cool, this one works. He's shinier. Yeah,
this one has heart.
Yeah, but then they just have this evil master who is just like, he was behind Ragnarok and all this stuff, and in the creation of it, and just like enjoys killing people and stuff, and like can be super nice when he's in the mountains and killing bears, but he's actually just super evil still.
Yeah, I forgot too that Odin, the final kid, that him and Kenichi were like friends in the past. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that was a big thing. Yeah,
that's where he got his yin yang symbol.
Yes,
from.
exactly. The buttons. Yes.
Yep.
The buttons.
Yeah. Kenichi, and he always loved that, but he's like, oh no, like if it got knocked somewhere, he'd be like, I gotta get it.
I get my button back.
And it's also just nice, like I get it. Some people always want like this complex main character and all this kind of stuff. It's just nice to have a Kenichi where he's just like he's a perv.
Yeah, he's definitely a perv.
But he's got the sweetest little like.
And he's stupid as shit, but like he is just a good character.
Yep.
You know, he just is always looking on the bright side of life. He's a good guy. So
I know one of my buddies read the manga, which like just one another season.
I know,
but I know at the end all you get to see, which is pretty cool, but is like Kenichi's writing the story of like everything he's been through, and it's like the jackest fucking forearm, big ass hand. And I guess you see like a picture of him, and like I can't really see a picture, but like Miyu, and I guess they get married and have a kid, and all kind of stuff. And I'm like, oh my god,
I know
that sounds so
That'd
cool.
That'd be spectacular to have in an anime. Yeah. Come on, it's like manga I gotta read. Who knows?
They don't color them.
I know they don't color them, and they don't move.
Yeah, they don't move.
They don't
Fight scenes are
they don't have voices.
Because like that's the thing is like what I loved about Kenichi, and Kenichi could have done it, and it would have made so much sense. It's like the Naruto thing where it's just like you watch him get so much stronger throughout the series, and it's slowly paced, so it's nice. And like this is what I want my hero to be. Like, he's like, I'm gonna be the greatest hero ever, and like he's the mightiest disciple. I want to see like they always cut it. Like
right before they're like God,
and it's like I want to see when they're gods. Like you don't have to do a whole anime about it, but like
just give me like a 4-minute thing at the end of the show where he beats the living shit out of someone, you know, like some villain.
Yeah,
and we got to see how cool he is, you know.
Like don't Boruto it and just like toss us like this dumb form of Naruto.
Dumb Naruto,
yeah.
Bad Naruto.
It's like Kenichi would have been. Kenichi's like one of those shows like. I just could have kept watching.
I could have kept watching forever, yeah.
Could have kept watching forever.
I never got tired of watching it.
Yeah, I've actually watched it twice.
Yeah, me too.
Nice. Because it's fun. It's like super fun.
It's super fun.
If you do watch the show, you're probably wondering we didn't talk about his friend at all because his friend's a fucking weirdo and I don't give a fuck about him.
The alien kid?
Iki, whatever. Yeah. I don't even know his name. Yeah, that kid sucks. Yeah. That kid, every time that kid shows up, you're like, this kid fucking sucks.
Yeah, I know.
There was also Siegfried, who I loved. I
know, yeah.
That guy was great.
He was very cool. Yeah, he was out of him and Hermit. They're the two like best ones that he
Hermit's
turned.
Definitely.
Hermit actually has a story.
And also like
Siegfried just like I like to sing.
Yeah, that's really
something like that.
Don't lie too. Also, you were like Hermit's pretty cool.
Hermit was super cool.
His outfit was so cool.
Hermit was awesome, dude.
He was awesome.
Hermit was awesome. He had great technique. His master was super cool too.
Yeah.
And the Chinese guy's brother.
Yeah. And I love like that, even though it like makes no sense, but it's like this is like probably the one like they obviously like it's an anime, so like they're like doing like things that like people really can't do, but they're not like god killers or anything like that. But there's that one move where like light comes from it all stuff. It's the double palm push, and I'm like, that's really cool, especially when Kenichi does it.
Yeah,
like it's super cool. But like that's the one move where I'm like this. Like majority of times, like it's a swinging elbow to the face. You're like, yeah, that would do something.
Yeah, who wouldn't that hurt?
But the one where it's just like you just push your palms a little harder. They're like, oh
my god!
It like breaks Kenichi's arms when Hermit does it to the first time.
Yeah, I remember that. Yes, yeah.
That was like the only move where I was like,
okay, sure,
yeah,
sure, whatever you say, pal. Whatever you say.
But it was really cool.
It was really cool. It was very cool. There isn't. I'm not gonna say there's no cool fights in this because there's dorky fights that happen every now and again, but there's most of the fights are pretty like, this is pretty fucking great. That's pretty great. His fight with Valkyrie, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was in there. Even the sumo guy.
Oh yeah, the fight with Valkyrie, or like she's got those like cut jeans.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
It's so I can swing my leg better because I'm a kicker.
Sure. Swing them high, honey.
Yeah. You know who you definitely not. You know you can definitely kick your ass. Miyu. Doesn't she actually fight Miyu?
Oh yeah, she beats me. She beats him. Miyu beats her, I think.
Yeah. But that's when she.
That's when she starts calling her Dairy Cow.
Oh yeah, and that's when she catches her head with her foot, Miyu, because she's like, oh my god, I'm gonna kill her.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that. Yeah. Like, oops, yeah, I might kill this one.
Yeah,
so she's stupid strong too.
Oh my god, she's the headmaster's
Yeah,
granddaughter, which is like another thing. I know her parents died or something, but like, or they're away. I can't remember.
And they're dead.
But another thing, cool. Show us that.
Yeah, those two had to be freaking insane.
Yeah.
If one of them had a dad that was like that, they had to be pretty strong.
So it's like,
or so you want to see him dying? Is that what you want?
No, I don't want to see him. Well, maybe that'd be cool, but like just like at least like because like. It had to be something cool.
It had to be super cool. Yeah.
Like, obviously, the headmaster's not going to have a kid.
Yeah.
Who's not badass as all shit.
Yeah, that's true. That's like, very true.
Like,
yeah.
I also do love they have this massive, like, humongous dojo that's like right in the center of the city.
I know. So many anime are like that. Yeah. We just find dojos wherever we can. We just put them wherever we want to.
But yeah, it's a top.
100%. 100%. I mean, if we wanted to rank it.
We will rank it. Before we rank it, I want to tell you a ranking and show you how the show's getting debated. On my anime list, which a lot of the rankings I usually do, it's 479th out of all the anime.
Well, that's stupid.
That's so not right.
That's super stupid. If Dragon Maid's ahead of that, that's super stupid.
Oh, it 100% is.
That's dumb. Shut that website down. That is bad. Stop. I'm going to burn their servers right now. Where are they headquartered? Look it up.
But out of 10, what would you give it out of 10?
I would give...
I don't know. It's kind of hard.
It hasn't finished, and we never saw it finish. And all that stuff.
Right. That's a
but yeah, so we can put it wherever we need to there after that. But I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give it an 8.
An 8? Oh, yeah. Okay. I was even higher than that.
Do it up.
Oh man, I don't know.
Do it up. You can rank higher than me. It's okay.
I know, but it's like I want to give it like Kenichi is like one of those shows like
you want to give it a 10.
I'm not gonna give it a 10 because it didn't finish and it's old. I
wish.
I don't know if you ever heard this other show. Not a big fan of old anime, but
it's animated so well. Though.
It's one of those shows that it's got like that like Full Metal Alchemist vibe where it's like do you remember watching an episode where you're like, ugh?
No.
Exactly. So I'm gonna give it a 9.2.
All right, there you go. Look at that. There you go.
I'm going high up. I really like the show.
It's a great show.
It's a great show.
Everyone should watch it. That's what we're saying. It's the whole point of us doing this right now. Like everyone should watch it. Show people that it's amazing, and then maybe it'll come back. Yeah. Unless someone has found where those fucking scenes are coming from and wants to tell me because I can't figure it out.
Yeah, but watch it, and then we'll all get together and be like, bring it back.
Yes.